Good Monday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Weather stick this morning. Yeah, purple haze, purple rain. It's purple because it's cold. And it's going to be cold, especially tonight and tomorrow night as temperatures get below freezing. So Weather Stick is telling us, let's get those plants taken care of. Anything that you've put out, new vegetation for the spring growing season, you're going to need to cover it up or bring it in. Unless it's something, really hardy, then it can probably withstand temperatures below 32 degrees because we're going to get there, well, tonight and tomorrow night. And it may not be the last of those kind of nights. We're going to get a couple of those here for the short term, and then maybe even a little bit after that. Here's the reason why. This morning, we have a few little spritz of rain, a little bit of drizzle, as you see coming through, but we also see a cold front that is making its way through the area this morning. Now, this front is really just going to usher in much colder air. The breezes are going to start to pick up today from the north and west, and it's going to be breezy, sustained wind at 10 to 15, but then a gust every once in a while, maybe to 20, 25. That's going to make the mid 40s, which we're forecasting for a high today, feel like upper 20s to low 30s. So today is going to be kind of a raw day. Not a lot of precipitation, as you see there. It's just little blips on the radar. But still, that cold front is going to move east, and with that comes the colder air that's just going to come rushing in here today. So just prepare yourself. We are going to get a chill in the air already there. Temperatures are not starting out that cold this morning, but it is going to feel much colder. So Weather Stick is saying it's getting colder. It's going to get colder. And it's going to stay chilly for a couple of days, and then we'll start to warm things up. Now, normally at this point, I would show you the 10-day model blender so you could see that. But for some reason this morning, it is unavailable. Don't know why, but if you've watched the previous couple of days, you've noted that the blender was going to show us with this dip today and tomorrow. Then we start to recover and even head back close to, mid 60s by the middle of the week. Then we take another dip this coming weekend, and then we start to rise back up in temperature as we head close to the first day, official day of spring. So, this is just like one of those little winters. I'm not sure which one it is. I don't know if it's linen breeches, if it's blackberry. I don't know. It's one of those. But anyway, here we go with the temperatures this morning, and you can see by the Kentucky Mesonet Network, 30s pretty much everywhere, including a couple of 40s here in Bowling Green. But most everybody is above freezing this morning, so the little blips you saw on the radar is just going to be some sprinkles, drizzle, a mist. Not much else going on here this morning. All right, let's take a look at the surface map and or the models here showing what's coming for us as far as the pattern and the flow. That dip in the jet stream, I don't even have to draw a line, but I will for you. You can see that how this thing is really just taking a big dive right over the area. Let me enhance that a little bit more. There we go. You can see that that trough that is built over the area, that's allowing the colder air from Canada to move down to our area. There's a low pressure system that's sitting right over Lake Michigan, and it's drawing in that colder air. And so there's lake effect snows and even some snows outside of the Lake Michigan area. And notice by the time some of this gets with this is the cold front, notice by the time it gets here, it's in the form of light rain or sprinkles north of us, and maybe even parts of northern Kentucky. They may see a little bit of that mix taking place today. But look how far south that trough digs. Southern Tennessee, northern Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. This is tonight. And then we get into Tuesday, still sitting there. I mean, it takes a bigger dive to the south. And so that colder air just spills in tonight. And that's why we're calling for a hard freeze. Even though the Weather Service were kind of out of that beginning, they only post these hard freeze warnings during the very first couple of freezes. And then after that, we understand that, this still could happen all the way maybe into Derby Day, first Saturday in May. It's still possible. So this may not be the last one, but this is one that's going to get us for a couple of nights, tonight, tomorrow night. So with that, that's why you need to bring in the plants or cover them up. You see some snow flurry activity this model's trying to spit out. Enough clouds around and a little bit of trapped moisture. There could be somebody might see something out of that. We're looking at this. This is going to be about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And that natural flow coming out of the Canadian provinces and wrapping around that low pressure system, which, by the way, is going to become, as I told you before, a big, strong, low pressure system over the northeast. And that is going to become a nor'easter that will just continue to pump in that wraparound moisture for the New England states. Very gusty winds for us, a little breezy, but it will be colder through time. So this is Tuesday that we're looking at here. We go on into Wednesday. We start to see some recovery as we get into the middle part of the week. Notice the trough shortens and we start to see some Pacific flow taking over right in the middle part of the country. And here we go with those never ending systems that come off the coast of California and the Baja and head our way. And then it taps into some Gulf moisture, and eventually we'll get another, good round of rain. It looks like Friday night into Saturday morning as we head into the weekend. Really, the rest of the week uh, doesn't look all that bad, but there you see it. Back it up, forward, back it up, forward. Yeah, pretty enhanced trough here for the beginning of March, and it's going to continue to bring us the chilly air until we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and then it's going to push off to the east, and then that's when the Pacific flow starts to take over. All right, we'll take a look at now the surface maps. I got ahead of myself there. Okay, surface maps showing a decaying cold front, and that's what's bringing us the chillier air today. But actually, it's being helped by this low pressure system that is going to become that nor'easter in the New England states. Lots of snow around the Great Lakes. Some of that does transition down toward Kentucky, eastern Kentucky. As we get into this afternoon and tonight, we see these little pieces of energy here just kind of trying to work their way through Kentucky. So today is going to be, we may see some sun, but we'll also see a lot of clouds. It's going to be breezy. It's going to be into tomorrow, mainly cloudy with the possibility of a light raindrop or even a snowflake. But I think that's more going to be central and eastern Kentucky and not us in southern Kentucky. High pressure taking over Tuesday night, Wednesday, another cold night as we get into Wednesday morning. High pressure right over us on Wednesday. Then we get into Thursday. High pressure ridge moves east. That allows that Pacific flow to move right on in and then take over with some Gulf moisture as the high pressure dips down into the Gulf and brings northward that Gulf moisture showers and thunderstorms, Texas and the Oklahoma and Arkansas. Pretty good setup there for that. And then that will move right over the area pretty quickly as we head into Friday night, and Saturday. But by Saturday, it's out of here. And Saturday after that, you see these two low pressure systems, the main one and then the cutoff low, which is occluded or wrapping around itself. And you can see the winds associated with that, the tight isobars, the tight lines. We'll get another cool flow as we get into Saturday and Sunday. But after that, it looks like things will be fairly tame for a while. And I say a while because it's March. And you can have anything in March. You think March, you think spring. Yeah, spring begins, but you got to remember where we are. We're due north of the Gulf of Mexico, so that's a moisture feed. Then we get the pattern that we're set in this year, 2023, where the systems come off of the Baja of California, the California coast, off of the Pacific Ocean, and come across, and then they tap in the Gulf moisture. Then we get a Canadian high, bringing in the chilly air. I mean, with that kind of setup, you can have just about anything. You know, we thought for weeks and weeks that we were going to stay warm enough that we're just going to hop right in the spring. But I said, caution with that thinking, in that that doesn't mean that the chilly times are over with. And here's your proof. Here's your sign. But it'll be short lived. For those of you wanting spring weather, it'll be here quick enough, and this will go away. All right, you guys, I'm headed to the radio station this morning, Sam 100.7, to get the morning show started. In the meantime, dress a little bit warmer today with highs in the mid 40s, mix of sun and clouds, but then you're going to need maybe a jacket or a thicker layer or two just based on that. By the way, yesterday's high was only 46, and we should be at 59. So that's a 13-degree difference. 13 degrees cooler than average, and today probably going to end up about the same. All right, weather stick has spoken. Chilly, purple, chilly. I have spoken, and so therefore we move ahead. Thank you for watching. As always, God bless you, and I'll see you on the radio.